So now that you've brainstormed and explored different topics, what next? Where should you go to search for sources, and what kinds of sources should you be looking for? Check with the assignment description, check with your professor, and there are so many different kinds of sources: academic articles, books, ebooks, news articles. So just make sure that you are clear on the types of sources that you should be finding. There are a number of different search tools. Of course, there is Google and other search engines. There is the library website. And these different tools have different strengths and different types of sources. The library website has ebooks, magazines, newspapers, books, academic and scholarly articles. Google is really good for finding news sources and websites, so just be aware of where you're looking. And we are going to focus today on the library website. So you can type into your browser library.umbc.edu or just do a library search for UMBC Library, and we're going to head there now. Once we're here, you can just notice a few different search tabs. We're going to focus today on the article tab. This includes academic articles and newspapers and magazines. And we're going to focus on my example topic, community gardens and Baltimore. Click search. And as we scroll through the results, just notice a couple things. We're going to have the result page here. There's a few thousand results, so we can work on narrowing that down. And we can also just notice what types of sources are coming up. We have a lot of academic journals here. Also coming up, we have some periodicals, something that comes out every period, like a newspaper or a magazine. Okay, we're going to click into one of these so you can look through the titles, see what looks interesting. Growing What You Eat, Developing Community Gardens in Baltimore. This first page is an information page. You're going to have the title, author, where it's published, and the abstract. The abstract is a brief summary of the main points of an article. So it can be really helpful to read that, see if it's helpful for you and your paper topic. And then here you have a toolbar, and you have the actual full text. Sometimes there's a PDF link or a linked full text or a Find It button here. So we can click into this, and let's just take a look. We can view the whole PDF. We'll click in. And this is a really good example of an academic journal article. It's laid out in a very similar format. There's different sections that you'll often see when reading an academic article. We have the title, we have the author, we have the abstract. Again, that's the summary. And then we have these different sections. An academic article is written by a researcher, an academic researcher, usually has a PhD degree and is an expert. They're going to do a specific research project, experiment, data collection, and then write up the results. So it's original research. Usually there's an introduction section, graphs and tables and charts. Data can be collected and shared, and there's definitely an analysis. Analysis of the data, what it means, and interpretation. Sometimes a results section or a conclusion. And then all throughout the paper there's going to be citations where the scholar's citing other researchers. So this is the reference section, and you can see it's a whole page of citations looking at other scholars' work. So all this together, this is a clear example of an academic research article. So to summarize characteristics of an academic article, it's written by an academic researcher, someone who has a PhD degree, is an expert, sometimes works in a university. The article is going to be peer-reviewed, which means it's going to be reviewed by other PhD experts. It's going to contain original research and analysis, a results section, and it's going to have many citations and references. So just keep in mind. And we can keep looking through results. I'm going to go to the next page. And you can see periodical here. This will be like a newspaper or a magazine. Again, you're going to have the information page, And here we have a PDF of the full text. And here is the magazine. You can see that it's laid out a little differently than the academic article. It seems like it's geared toward a more general audience. It's a little more readable. And this is a good example of like an interest article, a general interest article, a report, or a summary. Typical of a magazine, there's also advertisements. You may have seen those in magazines before. Some photographs. It's easier to read, more generally appealing to a wider audience. Something else that I'm noticing is there's not a page of references or citations. And so that's very typical of a magazine. It's more of a report or a summary. It's not going to have the detailed citations like an academic article would. And then finally, how to look up a source. Say that you have a title of an article or a citation. How can you find that? So this is an example. And what you can do is just copy and paste the title, note the author's name as well, and head to the library research page. Now from there, you can just copy and paste the title into the search box, and then you could include the name of the author as well. We'll search there. And as it loads, the only result that it has is the correct one. That is the article I was looking for. We'll click into that. You have the information page and the full text right here. So feel free to look up articles that way as well.